This is a quick follow-up video for the full IGCSE Paper 2 video I did previously, as someone had a question. If you haven't seen that video, go back and watch it first, link up here. But we're coming back to it because someone had some doubts. They said, what about the question on the paper where they asked to use calculations? And I guess that scared them. So we're looking at the May-June 2023. Have a look at that, find the resource, I'll put the link to it down below, but we need to know about the case study. So this is the one, it was everyone theatre. Now, the question that they weren't happy with was, using Appendix 2 and other information, consider the two options for the first performance at the theatre. Which is the best option for Zara to choose? Justify your answer using suitable calculations. Now, yeah, you can get caught up going, oh my goodness, it's got maths. But don't get so scared of the math. Don't make it abstract. Business is real. Business does have some maths, and it's not complicated maths. The maths is addition and subtraction. Businesses want to know, how much do you make from revenue, and how much is it going to cost you? Because ultimately, most of them are looking to make profit. And this business, although they're ethical, they're also looking to make profit. So if we've got these two options for their first play, we picture all of this because we've scribbled in the case study. It's their first show they're ever going to do, and they can't decide between which of the two performances to put on. If I was trying to make that decision on Zara's behalf, what would I need to know? I'd need to know, how much is it going to cost me to put one show on? How much is it going to cost me for the other? What do we predict the revenue, the ticket sales price is going to be? And ultimately, what profit would I make from each of them? So let's go to the resource. And this is where, again, scribbling, highlighting is terrible. But these were some of the things that I was doing as I was scribbling. I won't go through it all because I won't bore you. But the sorts of things I was scribbling. Okay, option 1 has only got 7 actors in it, employees, but let's just call them actors. It's a pretty small little show. Option 2 has got 24. Good, they like that. Lots of the local people going in. But then, how much do they pay? The average wage? Well, they're going to pay 30 euros. So each of those 7 people, John, Susan, whatever, I'm picturing them, they're going to get 30 euros afterwards. Thanks for that, the 30 euros. The 24 of them, they're going to get 10 euros? What? They're only going to get paid 10 euros for doing this whole performance. That doesn't seem very much and doesn't seem very ethical for this ethical business that they've set up. So that's a red flag. I've put horrible up there. What then again, their costs, they've got costume costs, promotion, the 1,000 in there, and 2,000 the other one, that's quite a lot. But then they've got the forecasted revenue of 1,000 for option 1. Hang on a minute, I'm going to come back to it, and 2,500. This is a red flag. Straight away I've seen that. They're going to have little things. If you're only predicting to make 1,000 and your costumes and your promotion alone cost 1,000, then you've got to work. This isn't going to make any money. Option 1's not looking good. Great, I've got some passion about this. Let's try and bring that into the answer. The second one, well, it is going to make some profit, but I don't know about that paying 10 euros to the local community when we're trying to help them out from the case study. So, something to think about there. Now, the good news about these calculation questions that many people don't like is that if you can manage to get a couple of calculations onto your page, they're going to absolutely love it and give you most of the marks. So you can see I haven't really filled most of this page. But to be fair, calculating and all of that thinking process, you probably saw all of that annotating, well, that took you some time. Yeah, it did. That's why they don't expect so much. So I'm actually only going to give here an advantage, rather than in the previous example video, I said an advantage and a disadvantage of each. In this one, I think we're fair enough because most of the marks are going to come from calculations, just to give an advantage of option 1, an advantage of option 2, and then cancel them out. So let's have a look how I did that. I won't bore you with going through all my calculations, but I was just thinking, they're not complicated here. If you freeze the screen and have a look, 7 times 30, 210, I put that. Most of my marks are going to come from that bit at the top. Then I've said option 1 is better as the costs are lower. And then I've thought back to the case study. Why is this so important for Zara? Well, I've remembered because I've felt it, I've scribbled it. They're a new business. They need low costs to start up. This means they would not have to raise as much finance. They didn't seem, when I was reading it, to have much money, so that would be great that they've got these low startup costs. Option 2 then, what's good about that? Again, I've done my calculations and that is going to get me most of the marks. The fact that I've done this, I really don't need much more. But option 2 is better, as option 1 does not even cover its cost. It makes minus $210. This means they would have less money for the next show. Now we come to the conclusion and we're going to treat it in exactly the same way as with the other paper. We start by answering the question. If you don't answer it, terrible. You're not getting anything out of 12 in my class because they've asked you a question. Which one should you do? You've got to feel it. So option 1, I've been controversial here, you might think, but that's great. We've got something to get my teeth into. Option 1 is the better option. What? Yeah, I said option 1, the one that didn't even make profit. But hear me out here. Let's see if I can convince you. Option 1 is the better option. Although I said option 2 makes a profit, okay, I'm using that although I said I've got to cancel the other side. Although I said option 2 is better because it makes a profit. Perhaps this isn't important for the first show of a new business that needs to create brand awareness through promotion and low ticket prices. Right, so I've really cancelled out that option 2. I don't want them thinking about that anymore. I want to be persuasive. Go option 1. So I've cancelled it out. Then I just need to strengthen this side a little bit more. Although again, I feel most of my work is done in the calculations. Option 1 has low total costs, which is vital with passion to help their startup costs. But it also, and I've added something new in here, it also pays 3 times more. Go back and look at the resource. I'd scribbled it on there. 3 times more, $30 to their new employees, which meets their ethical objectives. So I've just strengthened this side, built on it more. It might seem a little bit brief, but they really just love the calculations. The fact that you can do the calculations, you're going to make yourself stand out, and that is undoubtedly going to get you up there to get your 9 or your A star. Very quick video. Hope it helps. You might need to watch it and pause and have a look at my answer. Any other questions, please put them in the comments and I'll try and make a video. Hope it helps. Thanks.